President Donald Trump's recent announcement of a 10% tariff on Chinese imports, set to take effect on February 1, 2025, follows his earlier declaration to impose 25% tariffs on imports from Canada and Mexico. These measures are part of his administration's strategy to address issues such as illegal immigration and drug trafficking, particularly the influx of fentanyl into the United States. The Chinese government has emphasized the mutual disadvantages of a trade war, stating that there are no winners in tariff wars, and warning that such actions could harm all parties involved. The proposed 25% tariffs on Canada and Mexico have elicited strong reactions from both nations. Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau has indicated that Canada will respond to these tariffs, emphasizing the country's critical energy resources needed by the US economy. Ontario Premier Doug Ford described the tariffs as a declaration of war, announcing retaliatory measures such as boycotting American-made alcohol and targeting products from Republican-held areas. In the automotive sector, companies like Volkswagen have expressed concerns about the potential economic impact of these tariffs. Volkswagen, which operates a significant manufacturing plant in Puebla, Mexico, warned that such tariffs would harm American consumers and the global automotive industry, advocating for free and fair trade. In response, China has been discreetly increasing its countermeasures over recent months, actions that have largely gone unnoticed by mainstream media. These include prohibiting the export of rare earth elements, vital materials for technology and defense production, to the United States. Additionally, China has reduced its oil imports from the US, targeting a key component of bilateral trade, and imposed tariffs exceeding 74.9% on specific American products, significantly escalating the ongoing trade dispute. These tariffs have expanded to include imports from the European Union, Japan, and Taiwan, illustrating China's strategic resistance to what it views as economic hostility. This situation has prompted an investigation into the specifics of these retaliatory measures and their potential global impacts. The analysis will cover the background of these actions and their effects on the economies of the US, the EU, and other major nations. The focus will include the US, EU, Japan, and Taiwan's tariff actions on China, which have intensified tensions. Beyond the recent 10% tariffs, the Biden administration announced significant tariff increases on various Chinese imports to counter what it considers unfair trade practices. Key actions include substantial tariff hikes on Chinese-manufactured electric vehicles, EVs. Starting in late 2024, tariffs on Chinese EVs have risen from 25% to an unprecedented 100%, resulting in total duties of 102.5%. This measure aims to protect domestic manufacturers from aggressively priced Chinese EVs, which benefit from substantial government subsidies. By making Chinese imports less competitive, the US government seeks to create a more level playing field for American EV makers like Tesla, Rivian, and other emerging players. Recognizing the strategic importance of battery technology, the US has also targeted lithium-ion EV batteries, raising tariffs from 7.5% to 25%. Batteries constitute a significant portion of EV costs, and this measure aims to incentivize domestic battery production and reduce dependency on Chinese suppliers, who dominate the global market for battery manufacturing and critical minerals, such as lithium, cobalt, and nickel. Efforts are also underway to develop local supply chains for these essential materials to strengthen the domestic clean energy sector. The semiconductor industry has also become a focal point in the trade tensions. To address concerns over China's dominance in the tech supply chain, the US has announced a doubling of tariffs on semiconductors imported from China, increasing from 25% to 50% by 2025. This measure is intended to encourage domestic semiconductor production and address vulnerabilities in critical technology areas. The semiconductor tariff increases align with broader initiatives such as the CHIPS and Science Act, which provides funding for US-based chip manufacturing facilities. By targeting this sector, the US aims to maintain technological leadership while reducing reliance on Chinese-made components. Tariffs have also been imposed on medical products, including syringes, as part of these broader trade measures. Needles and certain types of personal protective equipment are also expected to see significant tariff increases. Duties on syringes and needles, which were previously tariff-free, will rise to 50% by 2024. Similarly, tariffs on certain respirators and face masks will increase from 0% to 25%. These measures, affecting approximately $18 billion worth of Chinese imports, reflect the US government's commitment to reducing dependence on foreign-made medical supplies. The COVID-19 pandemic highlighted vulnerabilities in the global supply chain for critical medical products, prompting efforts to enhance domestic manufacturing capacity in this vital sector. Renewable energy, solar cells, and critical minerals. The United States has also targeted the renewable energy sector as part of its tariff strategy. Tariffs on solar cells imported from China have doubled to 50%, aiming to support US clean energy businesses and foster the growth of domestic solar manufacturing. Additionally, tariffs on critical minerals such as natural graphite and permanent magnets are set to rise to 25% by 2026. These materials are essential for renewable energy technologies, including wind turbines and electric vehicle motors. By imposing these tariffs, the US seeks to strengthen domestic supply chains and reduce reliance on Chinese exports for clean energy advancements. European Union measures. The European Union has also taken firm steps in response to China's alleged unfair trade practices. Starting October 31, 2024, the EU implemented tariffs ranging from 7.8% to 35.3% on Chinese electric vehicles, in addition to the standard 10% car import duty, effectively raising the highest tariff to 45.3%. This move followed an investigation into subsidies for Chinese EV manufacturers, which the EU determined were harming European producers. Additionally, the EU introduced anti-dumping tariffs on Chinese imports of the sweetener erythritol, with duties ranging from 34.4% to 233.3% by 2025. These measures aim to protect the EU's industries from unfairly low-priced Chinese imports, highlighting the EU's dedication to fair trade practices. Policies in Japan and Taiwan. Although specific tariff implementations by Japan and Taiwan are less evident, both countries have pursued broader economic policy changes to counter China's rising economic influence. Japan has been enhancing its industrial policies and supply chain resilience, particularly in areas like semiconductors and critical minerals, to reduce reliance on Chinese imports. Taiwan, a key player in the global technology supply chain, especially in semiconductor manufacturing, is diversifying its economic partnerships to mitigate risks associated with China's economic strategies, trade measures, and tariffs in China has announced provisional anti-dumping tariffs on imports of polyacetyl copolymers, a specialized industrial plastic, from the United States, European Union, Japan, and Taiwan. These tariffs are part of broader trade strategies to protect Chinese domestic industries amid rising global trade tensions. The US faces the highest tariffs, ranging from 57.2% to 74.9%, reflecting China's view that American firms are engaging in significant dumping practices. This makes it challenging for US exporters to remain competitive in the Chinese market. Major US companies, such as DuPont and Celanese Corporation, leaders in producing polyacetyl copolymers, will be significantly affected. These firms traditionally supply high-performance materials for key industries, including automotive and consumer electronics manufacturing in China. The high tariffs are likely to push US exporters out of the Chinese market, compelling Chinese importers to seek alternative suppliers or rely more on domestic production. This aligns with broader trade tensions between China and the US, where both nations have imposed tariffs on essential industrial goods. EU exporters, meanwhile, face a tariff rate of 42%, a substantial barrier, but less prohibitive compared to that for US companies. While dumping by EU firms was identified, its overall impact on the Chinese market was deemed less severe than that of American exporters. Leading European producers, such as BASF and Celanese subsidiaries, are major suppliers of polyacetyl copolymers to China, serving industries that require high-performance materials. Materials such as precision manufacturing for automotive and industrial machinery are impacted by a 42% tariff, significantly increasing costs for EU exporters and reducing their competitiveness in the Chinese market. However, due to these firms' established reputations and high-quality products, they may still find limited opportunities in specific high-value market segments. Japanese exporters face a slightly higher tariff rate of 43.7%, reflecting their competitive pricing and strong presence in the Chinese market. Japan's proximity to China and strong trade ties have historically made it a key supplier of engineering plastics, including polyacetyl copolymers. Companies like Mitsubishi Engineering Plastics and Polyplastics Company Limited specialize in high-performance materials for automotive, medical, and electronic uses, making them major players in this sector. The new tariffs are expected to disrupt established supply chains, particularly in automotive manufacturing, where Japanese materials are widely used for components like gears and fuel system parts. Nonetheless, Japanese firms' focus on innovation and specialized applications may allow them to retain some market share despite higher costs. Taiwanese exporters face the lowest tariff rate among the affected regions at 32.6%, suggesting that the Chinese government found less evidence of aggressive pricing or market penetration compared to firms from the US, EU, and Japan. Taiwan boasts a strong petrochemical and plastics industry, with companies like Formosa Plastics Group and Changchun Plastics Company Limited leading the production of polyacetyl copolymers. While the tariff will raise costs for Taiwanese exporters, the relatively lower rate may help them maintain a portion of their market share, particularly for niche applications or price-sensitive buyers. This positions Taiwan more advantageously than its counterparts, though trade volumes will still be affected. Polyacetyl copolymers, also known as polyoxymethylene, PUM, are high-performance engineering thermoplastics with excellent mechanical properties, including high strength, rigidity, and thermal resistance. These features make POM an ideal alternative to metals such as copper, aluminum, and zinc, offering manufacturers cost-effective and performance-enhancing options across various industries. In the automotive sector, POM's low friction coefficient and excellent wear resistance make it suitable for components like gears, bearings, and fuel system parts. Its dimensional stability ensures parts retain integrity under thermal stress and mechanical loads, enhancing vehicle reliability and performance. Additionally, POM's resistance to fuels and lubricants makes it ideal for under-the-hood applications. In electronics, POM's electrical insulating properties and dimensional stability under varying environmental conditions make it valuable for manufacturing connectors, switches, and housings for consumer electronics. Its low moisture absorption ensures consistent performance in humid environments, maintaining the reliability of electronic devices. For medical equipment, POM addresses challenges in mission-critical components with its high strength, stiffness, toughness, and lubricity across a broad range of temperatures and chemical environments. Its low extractables, high purity, FDA compliance, and animal and latex-free properties make polyacetyl copolymers ideal for medical applications such as dry powder inhalers, insulin syringes, and electric toothbrushes. In industrial applications, POM's mechanical strength, low friction, and chemical resistance make it suitable for durable and reliable materials. It is used in producing pump components, valve parts, and conveyor belts, where consistent performance under mechanical stress is essential. Its ability to withstand exposure to various chemicals ensures longevity and reduces maintenance needs in industrial machinery. China's recent implementation of provisional anti-dumping duties on polyacetyl copolymers, with rates ranging from 3.8% to 74.9%, is expected to significantly alter the country's market for these materials. Between January and November 2024, China imported approximately $3 billion worth of polyacetyl copolymers, highlighting the material's importance in various sectors.